Hi, and welcome back to the podcast Wreckers. We are your local podcast done illocally. Is that a word? Anyway, you can find. I make shit up. My name's Adam Aragon, and you can find us online at podcastrecords.com or on your podcast platform of choice, or in your favorite shoe in the closet.
Don't believe a word he says. I'm Matlock Zumsteg, his best friend, and I still am not sure why. I think it's to protect others from being his best friend.
I just thought your options were limited.
You can trust me. He can't, luckily, and everyone else is not Joe.
All right. Who else we got here today?
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Stephen Thomas. All you cucks out there in podcast land enjoying us.
Just got 20,000 viewers we don't want. Thank you.
And those of you who have not been cuckolded, way to go.
I see what you're using. We're using the King's English. Cuckold it.
Yes. Steven's trying to turn this into broadcast like ASAP. All right, and
gotta get the viewership, dude.
I'm sorry, dude. I took one of those little green and yellow pills that Gary Oldman takes throughout the professional, so we're gonna have to hurry this up.
Fair enough. And we have a special guest today, a special guest host, and I'll let them introduce themselves. Tell us who you are and why you're funny.
My name is Kevin Jones. You can find me at It's Kevin Jones on nothing because I don't do social media except for Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Why am I funny? Because my dad left at an early age and I have to replace the void that he left behind.
Ah, yes. Filling the daddy gap is a common one here, yeah.
Yes. I'm not on social media except for the three most prominent forms of social media.
Basically, I'm not on Twitter, and I think I might actually be on Twitter, but I haven't used it since like 2008 when I'm like, I'm going to log my weight loss, and then just got super fat.
I just signed up for things. I just signed up for everything.
I signed up on TikTok and I just write very private thoughts.
Yep.
I saw that movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey, and now I just click yes whenever there's a button on my screen.
Any pop-up, any ad. Yeah, I'm in a lot of trouble.
I've gone through 8 computers from viruses this year.
You may or may not still be able to find me on LiveJournal.
Ooh, actually, I still have a LiveJournal.
If you can find
LiveJournal exists. Yeah, if you could find that.
Now, okay, so maybe this was like a Southern California thing. Did you guys have melodramatic.com?
No.
Like that was like the emo scene because you had LiveJournal and then you had like melodramatic.com, and that's where, like, oddly enough, Jeffree Star became like a big person before MySpace. Jesus Christ, we're old.
Don't let that sink in. We're right past it,
buddy. I don't know what you're talking about.
My body hurts.
So we touched on it last week, but we were talking about Barbie and some of the movies that Mattel has been making.
Could be any given week. I mean,
right? Yeah, I touched on Barbie before we started.
Yeah, when is this podcast not littered with Barbie references? Am I right?
remember the episode that was like an hour and a half of us just like showing off our Barbies and like.
Oh, yeah, we didn't publish that though.
Oh.
That's a little. It's
real quick, guys. Why was I not invited to that podcast?
I'm sorry, but no boys allowed.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so Matlock has a list of Mattel products, and I thought as a good quick fire roundup here, we would do.
I just have it.
You just had it.
I just found it on the ground of the Mattel properties.
I find things. Yeah.
They are going
Matlock was in a Toys R Us writing down things he never got as a child.
While scourging through the land of KB Toys at an old abandoned mall, Matlock found a list of old Mattel toys while he was ghost hunting.
So, yeah, Mattel, because of the success of Barbie, is already planning movies for they're all in production. They're guaranteed to be released. That's a lie, but they're probably talking about them. I'll list a couple of them off. Stephen, how do you think, this is the easy one. How do you think Mattel is going to do their new Masters of the Universe movie?
Oh, yeah. Well,
have you seen the new Barbie? Do you know kind of the angle that it played? It was a bit like meta and tongue-in-cheek and even self-effacing about Mattel and their corporate.
I'm part of a pretty obscure religious sect that prohibits me from watching that or just about anything.
Just picture
also, as Steven stated before, he is not a cuck, so
right. So
clearly
he would avoid anything that's pink. Yeah. Well, basically the premise is they would take it in a more modern day way than they probably would, and maybe not market it to kids more than nostalgia for older, maybe indie film loving crowds.
Gotcha. I'm pretty sure they would celebrate obviously most popular character in the series, Orko.
Oh yeah,
and it would probably be a deep dive on Orko, his childhood upbringing, the trauma he had to go through as a young, faceless, berobed thing.
That is hard.
It was hard. He was nothing but clothes and eyes for his whole life, and yellow at that.
Drug addiction.
Drug addiction that impaired his ability to leave a winning quip at the end of every episode. Yes. And so a deep dive into that to really get to know Orko. I'm pretty sure we got Jamie Foxx on board.
Ooh, that's a big are we doing this like a biopic? I think
biopic. Jamie Foxx is Orko. I mean, remember him and Ray?
Oh yeah, he was great.
Fantastic.
Come on.
And honestly, I think it's great. Like Ryan Reynolds sort of thing, where he wore the mask at Deadpool the entire most of the movie, where that it's Jamie Foxx, but you don't get to see his face, full method. And also, I would like to pitch the idea of his deep friendship with Man at Arms.
Yeah, well, that's where the drugs come in.
Yes,
I had because those arms, if you look, there's track marks all up and down. I mean,
the reason he has the mechanical arms in the first place is because he was dealing with heroin riddled fucking fettuccine on these.
Look, it's all in the film. It's all in the film.
Yeah, let's not spoil it, right?
And what is a biopic without a coming out of addiction sort of thing?
I mean, even the Weird Al one.
That's great.
Oh, genius, comedic genius.
I had an Orko toy when I was a child, and it was just like this. You'd put a string in him, like kind of a plastic string like thing, and you pull it out I don't know what you'd call it. It would just spin around. It'd spin around on the table, and I was like, "That's what drugs will do to you." Yeah,
right, exactly.
He was obviously on stimulants, like heavy stimulant abuser.
Matlock, I hate to be that guy, but those were your parents' anal beads.
And that was me. That was me running around.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all coming back. I have to go, guys.
I found your necklace.
I gotta go.
I think I
washed it because I think the cat ate it.
I found the smelly necklace again. What do I do with this thing?
Why am I putting it in my mouth? I don't know.
How do you even put it on? It's not even a real necklace. God, you guys are dumb.
The therapy session that would be behind finding my parents' anal beads. Oh,
it's like the linchpin, It's like all of my therapy is just going to come tumbling down. Everything that's been built, it's going to crumble, and I can rebuild. And it's
what if you found anal beads and then, not knowing what they are, decided whimsically to put them in your ass anyway,
or mouth?
Well, how do you think they were discovered in the first place?
You would be a person who has no caution.
First, the anal beads or the anal bead user?
Okay, just checking. I mean, it's all hypothetical.
Well, it's just like
you're basically.
We should move on. We should move on with
talking about somebody who just does this as a way of identifying objects.
Polly Pocket.
I wonder how this feels. All right.
The first thing. They're like, Ren. Never seen.
So we're talking about Mattel toys today.
Nope.
Adam, Polly Pocket. Give us the pitch for the modern
Polly
day
Pull It.
Polly Pocket is like Gilmore Girls meets A24 indie serious flick. So there's really rapid fire dialogue. They're going back and forth a lot. They live in a tiny miniaturized world, but it's like a metaphor for what the state of being a woman is. And so, eventually they break out into the bigger world. And then much like, in an unexpected twist, much like Ant-Man, they have the same mass and weight and ratio. So they end up punching through the brains of all the horrible men on Earth and kind of a superhero finale.
And what's great is that sets up a possible multiverse universe.
Polyverse, yeah.
Yeah, Polyverse, Polly Pocket versus Mighty Max. Which was, which, as you guys know, was. Does nobody else know this? That there was Polly Pocket, but for boys, there was a cartoon.
I was aware of it vaguely.
I didn't want to be the one to tell you that your entire childhood was made up by fictionalized videos that only you saw.
Sorry, guys, those are anal beats. Mighty Max was just anal beats.
Well, how would you know unless you put it in your head?
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
To this day, I doubt whether I ever actually ate a box of Cabbage Patch Kids cereal. So I'll go ahead and do the next one, then we'll move on to Steven.
Cabbage flavored?
For kids.
I have heard, this is on good authority, I've heard the new Magic 8-Ball movie is going to be directed by Darren Aronofsky. And it's going to be a very literal interpretation of 8-Ball. It's pretty much going to be a sequel to Requiem for a Dream. Where it is a group of young... what's in an 8-Ball? It's speed and... meth?
Well,
someone answer this question that's not
cocaine.
me.
Speed and cocaine, right? So speed and cocaine. Okay. Yeah. Now I know.
I got it now. I remember.
All right.
When you say the two together like that, it actually sounds really good.
Yeah.
Now you mention it. I mean, where would one hypothetically even go around, asking someone if
here's the elevator pitch. I just came up with it.
Give us the 8-Ball version of the 8-Ball movie pitch.
So Darren Aronofsky, right? Okay. And then they can all predict the future. They can predict the future when they do the speed and cocaine drugs.
Yeah.
That's my pitch. I'm sorry, it just wore off. It wore off. I'm
crashed now. I'm kind of over it.
Kind of sleepy. I'm going to lay down.
Oh my God, I just realized that movie's been done 20 times. Oh,
and I just really need a nap. I've been thinking about this for days.
I have a notebook full of notes, and I can't read any of them.
Yeah, it's literally just curvy lines.
Unless there was a specific cipher. If there's only a way to find this, an 8-ball. Magic.
Hey, you know what?
There's the cipher. There it is.
Matlock, are there actual movies that are I forget, Barbie's Mattel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are there other toy movies?
Are there? I know we're fucking around, but I know this is all fun and stuff.
I mean, there was a He-Man Masters of the Universe movie. There was a G.I. Joe movie. There was
No,
Transformers.
I know, but on the heels of the Barbie success, was there any news of an actual thing being made? Matlock, who is muted?
Christ, I hope not.
Based on this, here I am. Yeah, based on this very reliable article on Parade.com.
Sure.
That Mattel is considering for movie franchises after the success of the Barbie film. Logically, in a bid to make money off of the public and their properties that they still own the IPs for. So Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Stephen, go.
Oh, dear Lord. Basically, we're going to take we're going to use Rock'em Sock'em Robots, traditionally red robot versus blue robot, as a parable for the political trauma of our times, and and hopefully try to settle said trauma without going to a domestic, you don't have to say domestic, a civil war, by a single Rock'em Sock'em battle, and then.
It's Robot Child.
Yeah. It writes itself. It
really does. I mean, think Red Robot is just look, I'm the best robot that there is. There's never been a better fighting robot than me. Everyone says it. Everyone knows it. And it's just oh, okay, I know exactly where this is going. And then,
and the blue robot is a smug, self-affirming pussy. And it's great.
And a geriatric, because they all have to be halfway broken down. And it's you have all these other red and blue robots and look, guys, I'm here too. And shut up, you're entitled, your whole generation.
Everyone will see this movie because everyone will be simultaneously offended by it and also placated by it.
And enchanted.
All of their biases.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ella Enchanted.
And,
it's going to be called Rock'em Sock'em Truth.
Ooh.
You won't even have to see it. You just watch
You can find it at truthsocial.com/redrobot, and then I don't know what the other one is.
That's about as deep as that website goes.
Yeah, the HuffingtonPost.com/bluerobot.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and the hate.everybody.us.com.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they just call that the
I need an app.net.
apparently.
Who's going to direct it? Do you know who's going to direct it?
Aronofsky.
Oh yeah,
Aronofsky. They got it for all the projects.
Every Mattel he's the James Gunn of like the show.
Oh my god! Or it's all done by Michael Bay. It's all lens flares and shit.
Now they're gonna bring Don Coscarelli out of retirement.
Ooh, I don't know who that is.
He's well known for Phantasm, Phantasm 2, Phantasm 3,
Phantasm 4.
Fair.
Not 4. No, he didn't.
See, that's what I was actually thinking when it came to the Magic 8-Ball movie. It was like a Phantasm. Like, oh, they do an 8-Ball, and like all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, it's Phantasm coming for everybody.
That'd be funny if you think that's what an 8-ball is. Like, oh my god, what are you guys going to do? Fuck, that's crazy.
We're gonna drink the blue ink from the 8-ball. Yeah.
Why not?
So,
holy shit.
Kevin, you're next because you haven't done one yet, right?
That's true. I have not. This is actually my first podcast.
I'll give you 2. I just did Steven twice. I'll do you, and then we'll move on. So the Christmas balloon.
The Christmas balloon.
Yes.
Huh?
I'm thinking Hudsucker Proxy. You know, it starts from the bottom and then bring it back up, and it's all just really moderately depressing. But like the only thing, like it's really like, oh look, it's the Christmas balloon. I created this, and at the end, he basically ends up like killing himself. But you see what the toy business has done to him and how it has destroyed his life.
Sorry, just to clarify, the red balloon kills itself?
No, the Christmas balloon.
Oh, the Christmas balloon kills itself.
The Christmas balloon, what he does is the creator of said Christmas balloon jumps off holding the balloon and slowly descends to his own demise.
Okay, I was just wondering if the balloon itself was sentient. Sorry.
Also, what the balls is the Christmas balloon? I have no idea.
Yes, thank you. What's the Christmas balloon?
I'll read what it says here. It says, if you're thinking I've never heard of this toy, that's because this movie isn't based on a specific toy. The new movie will be based on a true story that involved a little girl in a Mexican border town tying her Christmas list to a helium balloon in the hope that it will reach Santa.
Well, that was like a little fuck you then. He just kind of threw it.
First off, that fucking movie already exists, okay?
Yeah.
Secondly, that's not an actual toy. It's just a story.
These are actual predictions. I thought we were doing actual predictions.
No, I thought it was like based off of Mattel toys.
No, I'm kidding.
Way to give him a softball there, Matlock.
Okay,
right? Yeah, first time.
So
just
now
kick me in the
anything's
nuts.
going to be Hot Wheels,
Right.
Kevin. Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels
Hot
the movie.
Wheels. That's fucking easy. I'm sorry. Bring on Michael Bay, and let's go ahead and do our version of Fast and the Furious, right? Red car, automatically. That thing is sentient, right? All right. And it's basically trying to get all the other cars to go with it in a world that exists of nothing but tracks. Inside the black car, guess who it is? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I mean,
done.
The rest, don't worry about it. We'll write it as we go. You know, look, Iron Man 1 worked out really, really well, and they just made it up as they went. I think with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and you know what, red car? Owen Wilson, because then it calls back to Lightning McQueen.
You know what? Based on all your crazy name dropping and that one simple analogy, fund it.
Right?
honestly,
thanks, Netflix.
When I heard that pitch, I was convinced I had already seen that movie and that it already existed. And
here's the best part: I might have.
And yet, I want to see it again.
Yeah, and I miss it. I think it exists, and I miss it.
Look, I'm sorry. We've made how many Fast and the Furious movies? Like, we don't need anything. We're good. Yeah, at this point, it's just like they might as well do a Fast and the Furious Transformers crossover and just call it a day.
They are just all called Fast and the Furious with a date afterwards as to what year that one.
Oh my god, that's genius! It's like Madden.
I think
but you know what? I'm taking that idea and putting it on Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels 2025. Hot Wheels 27. Hot Wheels 29. And of course, everyone's personal favorite, Hot Wheels in space. Because nothing says jump the shark with your Hot Wheels like in space.
It would be so much easier to follow those movies chronologically as opposed to having like parentheses or like not parentheses, but like Fast and the Furious : Tokyo Drift or whatever it would be like 2017. And then you know that the next one is going to be 2019, right? Yeah. And then the next one is going to be 2021. So you just watch them in the order of the
You know what? Keep your big government out of my movies, okay?
Oh, that's fair. Not everything has to fall into your communist line.
I can kind of see that. It's like, it's not Fast and Furious 5, not Fast and Furious 6. It becomes Fast and Furious, The Fast 3, The Furious, Fast and Furious, Fast the Furious. It was just like the Furious Fast. It was like they just started mixing up just the words in it. The and it's Fast Furious.
Yeah.
It's just like just do it.
Fast Furious Furious.
Yeah.
Cars fast.
Yeah. Do more fast car stuff.
Vin
with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Cars movie.
Rock is Car movie 3. Yeah.
We got Bay. We got Rock. We're done.
Why not? Michael Bay, Cars. It's a win-win for everybody.
All right, Adam. Uno the movie.
Ooh.
Uno the movie is surprisingly a dark, visceral horror movie, similar to like Green Room, where there's like kind of a dark situation in which people have started to play a card game, and in a Jumanji twist, they're pulled inside of it. But the only thing in that other universe is basically their own alter egos, and they can throw cards at each other to change their minds. Eventually it gets very cerebral and kind of spirals into a very confusing sex scene that will probably define the movie for all audiences, despite the rest of it.
And no one's going to remember much else.
Yep, that's pretty much it. And, there's some denouement and some epilogue and all that, but really it just builds up to the strangest orgy you've ever seen with a lot of reversal cards.
So what you're saying is Eyes Wide Shut mixed with You Can't See Me.
Yeah. Oh, it's all for children, yeah.
Oh, of course, yes. The children must learn.
I'll go ahead and take the last one. Viewmaster, the movie. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is just, and I'll bet this is what they would actually do with it, make it into a horror film, right? I'm saying we bring back the early to mid 2000s gross out comedy a la American Pie. Every time somebody clicks the Viewmaster while looking at somebody, there's just really like embarrassing things on each slide. It projects it onto the people that they're looking at through the Viewmaster. So maybe like somebody shitting themselves in public,
like a shame master.
It's shame master. In fact, you would change the name, but you don't want to remove yourself from the IP that people are familiar with. So
no, I get it.
It'd still be called Viewmaster, but somebody just and you could draw whatever. You get a small pen, you draw whatever you want on the slide, and then you put it over,
and then dick in their face.
Yeah, exactly. And so right, and just multiple scenarios.
Right. And what are some examples of those scenarios?
I'm sure we'll think of some. I mean, we'll just look at what is socially unacceptable, like what is like trending as the most socially inappropriate and unacceptable.
So just look up like hashtag horrible TikToks and then just kind of go from there.
Honestly, I was just going to pump it into ChatGPT and just see what it came up with and hand.
We've had a dozen movies so far with that same premise, and we've greenlit every one. So
yeah, it's pretty easy. I mean, we could make $1 million, and we don't even
have to
talk any more than we already have about it. So.
What I would suggest is bringing Andrew Tate on. Those guys who are just like that. Bring on like Alex Jones, people who just say insane, controversial stuff under the guise of I'm a very macho person, because I think that they have the right mind frame to bring Viewmaster to this generation.
Yeah, let's make it kind of an alt-right Viewmaster movie.
Why not? Everyone's Viewmaster is different, right? And just like you show it to other people and then they fight
this. Every time we talk about something, this is the same suggestion you make for just about everything. Let's involve Alex Jones and Rush Limbaugh somehow. Because
first off, I haven't mentioned Rush Limbaugh, but now that you have, I'd like to have.
Yeah.
I mean, in your heart, you did.
30-minute diatribe defending the man.
Yeah, that's why we have to have a shorter episode today. Is because you went off about it so much.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, we had to cut all that. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, shucks, darn it to darn. Now nobody will know my true passion for Rush Limbaugh.
All right, so I want to move on.
Be talking about him. That's why he left the room.
Steven's like, I'll have no part of this.
The moment that I heard Alex Jones, I'm out the door because he wants to turn the freaking frogs gay, or I don't know.
Steven.
I'll say the things we like about Ben Shapiro, and then the things we don't like about Ben Shapiro, and we'll see.
It's a pretty uneven list.
You know what I like about Ben Shapiro is he looks like that ventriloquist dummy from the Goosebumps series.
Yeah.
If you line them up right next to each other, oh my god, dude, it's one-on-one. Also, the fact that
good for you for finding something good.
Yeah, and I mean, like the fact that he can't please his wife.
Yeah,
good for him.
It's public
no,
knowledge.
Me neither.
I was going to say he makes me think of the main evil child from Children of the Corn, the little black-haired boy in the Amish hat. He was also in Tammy and the T-Rex, probably his two most famous
classic film
roles.
All right, so I want to move on to our improv section of the show. Now that Steven's back.
Steven heard us say, I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, my God.
He hears Alex Jones and he runs. He hears I'm moving on and I'm back.
Yeah.
You can't be on camera for this.
No, my family came home and I had
IBS. We get it. It's nothing to be ashamed of.
Hey, man, sometimes you just got to rub one out, and that's fun.
No judgment. We all do it.
I don't usually leave.
We also
talking.
I mean, the camera's at neck level. You don't have to go off camera.
No, you didn't realize that.
It just looked like you're really intently staring at the screen for a minute. Like
a little tight. Yeah. YouTube's gonna ban us.
I'm not flush. I just have a sunburn today.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm sweating and gritting my teeth, but I'm just so into this topic.
Why are you staring directly at Matlock?
How can you tell who he's staring at? That's what's
exactly. Oh, trust me, the people will know.
You see who's reflecting in his eyes.
He's done the math. Yeah.
When I scream, everyone will know.
Yeah. Well, all right, so we're gonna do our improv portion of the show. This one is kind of like just hat. Or I'm going to throw out a couple different scene examples, and if you have some examples of that, shoot it. If you don't, we'll move on, and we're bad people.
I'll just leave.
All right. Here we go. First off, slightly different rules for the sword and the stone.
I got nothing. Move on. Next? No, I'm kidding.
Remember?
Nah, fuck you. No.
If you cannot sing a song... Oh, go ahead.
Remember what you said earlier about how you find things and what you would maybe do with things when you first...
Yeah. Is this going to be my thing now?
Yeah. Anal beads again?
Yeah, exactly.
So only the true king of England can pull this from his own ass.
What is that sticking out of that rock? Let me check.
That's not a rock, it's a person.
And then he clenched too hard and became king.
It is a rock. It's Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
You had to pull it out of Dwayne.
Yeah, got to pull the beads out of Dwayne the Rock Johnson in order to be the next king of England.
Yeah, well, those are the rules.
Is that how you get your rock off?
Point.
Well, all right.
Take the headphones off. We're done.
Thank you.
Let's move on to the next one. Jump in if you got it. Thank you, sir. Jump in if you got it. Tell us the rules for the board game Capitalism.
You just strangle everybody. You strangle everyone until they pass out, and whoever's left alive or awake is the winner. I think.
So I think that's just murder. But yeah, go on.
Well, the game was called Murder until
we gave it a fun name.
Yeah, they wanted to appeal to kids.
And as for the rules for the board game Capitalism.
You get to pick your pawn. Everybody gets a different colored boot of oppression. Mm-hmm. And it's
and then you roll some dice to see how many backs of the workers you step across.
There you go. Everyone starts out with a card, and it tells you what kind of family they were born into.
It also tells you if you won already.
Correct. Yeah. It's like, hey, guess what? You're a Rothschild. All right, go ahead and move to Vienna. You're done.
Yeah, end of game.
Yep. And also, what year were you born? Were you born in like 1982 to 1987? Cool. You're just going to stay at start, and then we're going to get you halfway up the board, and we're going to send you back to start. Then you're going to get about a quarter of the way up the board, and then back to start, and you're never going to own property.
It looks like you drew silver spoon and white privilege, so you can jump as many spaces as you want.
Well, exactly. Instead of buying property like Monopoly, you buy credit card debt, and you just buy up like people's
medical
entire
debt.
Lives. Yeah, exactly. You just
buy medical debt for pennies on the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll move on to the next one. This next one is Marvel introduces a new superhero that isn't selling well.
Professor Projection. Oh, I guess it's like, don't worry about my problems. Let's go ahead and talk about Steven over here. Steven, ooh, look, I have a bad relationship with my family. That's as bad as me trying to massacre all of humanity. Look, if I did that, Steven wouldn't have that kind of problem, would he?
It's supposed to be like a buddy cop thing. You got like Doctor Strange and Professor Projection.
Yeah, Professor Projection. I like it.
I think he's a villain.
Oh yeah, clearly.
Okay.
All right.
But he starts as a friend.
With one. What was the name of that one we came up with? I wrote it down because I wanted to.
I like the one you had last time.
Captain Saberhill.
It was.
I'm in your face.
I'm in your face.
I'm in your face.
I got nothing better to do but spin in circles.
At dusk, I strike.
And that's the only time I strike.
Yep. Surrounded by my many other netmen.
Yeah, I've cloned myself 1,000,000 times.
It was, I think, the masked illegal. He just flies around committing crimes, and he thinks he acts like a hero. He's like, "Don't worry, I'll ruin this wedding." And just
why would you do
cake and like
Matlock, that already exists. It's called Captain America.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The masked illegal just sounds like a racist premise.
Well, that was the name we came up with, but I didn't intend it to be.
No, I know what you mean.
He just does illegal.
We need a less suggestive name.
The masked illegal has to be white. It has to be Chris Pratt.
We'll call him
starring Chris Pratt.
We'll call him the instigator.
I can picture his origin story is he's one of those kids that was rich, like raised rich, the ones who like run over people with their cars because they just have no empathy. And so he just
they need to get out of
oh my God, what was that?
He's been
what were they doing being poor in the street?
Isolated in his parents' mansion until he turned 28, and then they both died, and he just goes out into public, and that's all it is. He doesn't even wear a mask or a cape. Just call him the rich kid.
The rich kid. There you go. The rich kid. Look, everyone. Here comes the rich kid. He said, all of these belong to me because I decided they do. Good day.
They're mine because I want
them. What was it? Not influenza. What is the goddamn word I'm thinking of?
Influencer?
No. There was actually a big story about this thing where like the kid was so rich, affluent. So affluenza. Is it called affluenza? Right, it's like, he's just so not used to the way that like the regular world works that he totally hit a hobo with his car, and it's totally fine because he just doesn't know any better.
That's
oh my God,
the story I was talking about. Yeah,
affluenza. So, I like it.
Or you call him. What would his name be then if it's affluenza?
Stricken with a privileged upbringing.
Admiral Affluenza, because he has a giant hat.
Admiral Affluent.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Let's move on to the next one. This is, for any suggestions you have, the genie in the lamp has several additional rules to the usual 3.
You got to pull this out of my ass.
You don't rub it. You insert it, and then you.
Yeah, for each wish.
And it's not a small lamp. It's pretty. It's
you
curvy.
Don't know how
it's
many
weird.
balls are on the you don't know how many beads there are, so you never know how many wishes you're going to get till you get to the end.
That's true.
Yeah.
So you have to share every wish with me, the genie.
I get half.
I get half of whatever it is that you want. You like her, I get half. You want $1 million? You got $500,000, my friend.
The rest goes to the guy doing all the work.
For every one of your wishes, one of your beloved family members gets turned into the genie Will Smith from the movie, just without the powers.
That's my son's favorite, Aladdin.
I mean, of course, it's the best.
He watched it like I've seen that movie so many fucking times, and it's so weird because you're just like, it's on again.
Oh boy! I don't know what to do with my hands.
Oh, what a great!
Seriously, I'd be like, fuck, you love this, don't you?
That's great, son.
You really love it.
To be fair, like our generation did the exact same shit though, like with like the mask and with like
but my dad didn't have to. My dad wasn't like all caring about it and like putting up with it. My dad literally at the dinner table told me, everything you watch is just a glorified fucking cartoon for all the toys we buy you.
Yeah, well,
like word for word, and I was like 9, and I was just blown away. I was like,
if all of us were blessed with parents who contain all the cynicism of the 1950s, we too would be on the level of Steven.
Yeah, it was badass. Like I look back at it now, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
My suggestion for the genie thing would be, for every wish you make, a villain of history comes back to life, like Hitler, Mussolini, and it's if you really want another wish, you should probably go and kill that person before you bring back another one. So you're not just bringing it back over and over again.
Nah, I'm cool.
Yeah,
I'll take my 19. I'll take my 19 wishes.
Just one. You don't know which one, but maybe it's a minor villain. Who knows? You know, it's like.
But can you guys imagine like the Mobius strip that would be like, I wish Hitler never existed, but then Hitler comes back, and I wish Hitler never existed. Right. It just kept.
I wish he would never exist again, and then you sort of ruled him out. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about every wish that gets granted, you also have to get stuck with just a really lightly annoying symptom, but it'll never go away for the rest of your life. So you have like a really light sore throat. Yeah. You'll have a sore throat that like just kind of always
going to be there. Yeah, you can just constantly sucking on halls.
Yeah.
Or like your tinnitus slowly gets worse.
Yeah. Golden jet ski, Bahamas, whatever. You're like sitting there going,
but it's ringing in your ears is making
Yeah. The whole fucking time.
Your tinnitus is just like, oh man, what's for a jet ski? God dang it.
Why is the richest, smartest, strongest, most beautiful man in the world always hitting the side of his head like that?
I want to talk to everyone on that. It's like, oh my god.
All right.
The second thing I wanted to bring up was when I was a kid, that movie that was always on was Little Shop of Horrors. And I was like
we
6 or 7. And my parents...
I'm well aware.
Well, I'm just saying, like, my parents must have viewed that as like, man, we probably shouldn't have let him watch that
Why
movie.
did we introduce him to doo-wop?
It's just a constant reminder, like, the Audrey's breasts pushed up on screen, the domestic abuse between her and the abusive dentist, the sadistic, the homoerotic scene with the Steve Martin and Bill Murray in the dentist chair.
I mean,
you're absolutely right. You should have watched Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, I did once I discovered it.
Yeah.
What shock, a noise?
Well, that's great. That actually explains a lot, because if you think about the movie, you had like looping in the background your whole childhood, and if you made it that one, that's how you get a Matlock. Apparently.
Yeah. So if you want
Matlock,
yeah. Who else? What? And I wanted to ask, what were your all movies that you watched as a kid on a loop?
So I had 3 sisters. So we had Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, like a bunch of old, like classic Disney.
Did you request those though? Like, what were the ones you?
No,
watched?
I mean, like I was outnumbered by like 3 sisters. So
I know you watched The Crow a lot. That was your favorite movie.
I watched that. I was probably getting in toward high school or something. But
I was gonna say, as a kid, like I feel a lot older than I should right now.
I watched Princess Bride a lot. The movie I actually you mentioned like weirdly like Little Shop of Horrors being your loop. The movie I watched over and over and over again on VHS that was my pick was the Robin Williams San Francisco stand-up special.
That's a good one.
We had it on VHS. My parents actually attended it and got the video copy. They just had it was just sitting in a pile of our VHSs. So I watched like a 90-minute Robin Williams comedy set like 100 times at least.
And he was on so much coke for that.
Oh yeah.
And so you were just like, man, comedians are fast when they talk.
I gotta step it up. If I can't come up with 9 jokes a second, then I'm failing.
It's like whenever anything happens, it's like, oh my gosh, you're so energetic. Why is that? It's like, dude, if I didn't coke, my head would just.
You have this unrealistic, like, jokes per minute expectation put on yourself. Like,
that's so great.
That explains a lot, actually.
Oh yes, it's great to think.
I'm not even kidding. That does explain a lot. That's why you are so on it. Like, you feel like you are compulsory with your jokes. Like, it's expected of you to be like.
I have to.
Somebody didn't make a joke yet. Like,
oh yes, it's a crazy thing. Oh my gosh, it's like this, yes.
Yeah. In fact, that stand-up comedy set and Dennis Leary's No Cure for Cancer, I could do beginning to end, top to bottom, every word, every inflection.
Well, why don't you prove it?
I probably still could do something.
Oh, no.
Is No Cure for Cancer, is that the one where he does I'm an asshole, Leo at the end? Okay, yeah, I've seen that a lot. That's
for me,
great.
Eddie Murphy's Raw when I was 20 years
old. I did like that one too, yeah. That came later. But.
I saw Raw a lot. Raw and Delirious. I watched a shit
I was never allowed to be in the room for Raw, and then I just sort of resented it because it always meant I couldn't be in the room when it was on, so I never watched it as an adult.
See,
Kevin, what ruined your childhood?
Okay, so I actually wrote down movies that I watched on repeat, but I had to write 2 down. So, like,
The ones I watched pocket, the Max Pocket,
Max Headroom featuring
Mighty Max.
Yeah, Mighty Max, which apparently nobody else remembers but me.
I just remembered that you
I grew up in America, my friend. Go ahead.
The VHSs that I tore through were Rockadoodle.
I'm sorry.
And Ace Ventura.
Okay.
The original. But the two that I want to touch on, because like my grandparents, they used to live in an RV while they were building a church camp.
You don't need to brag here, man.
That's pretty obvious. I mean,
says like, yes, I got to see like Robin Williams live when I was 4 years old, and they gave me the cocaine so I could understand it. No, but they had two VHS cassettes that we watched basically nonstop throughout the thing, and only one of them has aged poorly. The first was Red Sonja.
Oh boy,
yeah, and that's not the one that aged poorly.
No, really,
the one that aged poorly. Bill Cosby himself.
Just watching him sitting on a stool.
Yeah, and see, like that's the thing though. That movie is like that. That's
sitting on a stool and doing stand up for 2 fucking hours. No fucking
stand up
problem.
Sitting.
Mm-hmm. No, I know. I mean, I know he's an abhorrent, he's an abhorrent fucking person, but as a comedian,
part 6.
As a comedian before all that, he was kind of like impressive.
Steven's gonna work up to his.
I can't think of any other comic that I could say that about. But,
and that's a weird thing is like, especially our generation getting to watch like all of our idols crumble. Like, oh my god, I love Michael Jackson, and then it's like, please don't let him near your kids. It's like every single idol that we had has fallen. It's like, oh my gosh, I love this person. What do you mean they're a terrible piece of shit?
Every single
everyone's under such a microscope nowadays that like inevitably like someone's gonna like unless they're insanely careful.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy's Raw. He said terrible things about homosexuals. But when you put it in the lens of, that was the ignorance of the time, I kind of understand. It's like, you know what? He kind of gets escaped because he doesn't hold those views any longer. As long as he's progressed, it's awesome. Whereas Bill Cosby started as this, everyone loves him. And then he did what?
And then he made everyone love him.
Yeah. And now I'm going to put this pill into your drink and it's going to make you good. And then your career's going to go off the rails and shabbat.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just,
I didn't have Bill Cosby impression on my bingo card today, but
tell me if I'm wrong, Steven. You've got a kid and you're hooked into the young people today, but like
the youths.
In my experience, it seems that the youths,
go ahead.
The youths today are growing up with an understanding of what is dated about the material, just as we probably watched black and white films when we were kids and went like, wow, that's dated, or that's, he hit a woman, he slapped a woman, he's supposed to be a hero.
Can't do that.
That's weird. That doesn't happen nowadays in my movies. But going forward, it's like they're looking back at it and going like, oh, Ace Ventura, the ending of Ace Ventura, right? Very controversial nowadays, right? At the time.
Oh my God,
do you remember how it ends?
Yes.
So,
he found Captain Lucian.
Yeah, you don't even think about it until.
But he has the whole crying game in the shower scene, which is probably like very like it's not fun to watch nowadays if you say have a trans child.
But I think it's different if it had invented that kind of concept on its own. I think it would be a little more like easy to look down on.
It's
if it's
product
really just
of its time.
Yeah, it's parodying other movies from the same time period. So, like, just like Airplane, like has all sorts of inappropriate shit in it, but
the shower scene is a parody of Crying Game, but the entire plot isn't a parody of Crying Game. That was the plot written by Christian Steve Odekirk, who is, I think, a great comedian, but at the same time, he probably had some prejudices, and at the time, that was still funny. Silence of the Lambs, it's like. That is pretty much going like anybody with some sort of confusion about their gender identity. Transgender. Yeah, exactly. You're making a bigger deal than it is. Society is basically
it's been around for a while.
Like, we know what overreacting to that looks like now. Like the internet, we're still learning how to regulate or how to like make the internet not. We still don't know all the damage it's doing to us and our kids.
Well, not to mention the advances of like medical science and everything, and our ability to protect ourselves and have a civilization, that isn't like people exploding and lighting on fire all the time and stuff like for the most part, we have like a functioning society, But back in the day when like the population was in question and people were like, are we going to have enough people to survive? Like,
well, yeah, that's like that's my point, is I think that comes from like the religious texts, like, because like ancient Greek, homosexuality was like fine. Like, no one cared. But it's religion and like the institution of like Judaism, Christianity, that, the whole bit, where it's profitable to them to propagate.
Right. And so they instill
you build in the rules to not do the thing that doesn't do that.
Right, exactly. Don't do that because we might run out of humans, and wouldn't that be a shame? And it's like, what are you talking?
There were just like bumper lanes, for making society work before we had society. So it was like, hey, don't rape, don't murder, don't take your neighbor's shit, don't bang a dude because we need more people. Like, and so.
Right, and now that we have like a modern functioning society, it feels like we can re-examine these things and go back and be like, okay, so still don't murder, still don't rape, still bad.
Those ones
haven't changed our minds. Ancestors were right the fuck on those. However,
hashtag throw out all the commandments.
Yeah, like, let's just, as a collective modern society, re-examine
the Bible
our social
year.
mores and be like, okay, which are the ones that are harmful and which are the ones that are harmful?
We should do a Bible 2.0 that's just based on modern life.
You mean like the King James version?
Well,
it's hard for racists to. I've heard some people talk about how when you grow up in a family and a society, like your community, speaking ill of a person or a type of person or a way of life, it's hard to untrain your brain out of it, especially when you're a kid. The developmental ages. If it's like
it's a comfort
everyone's
system.
Bullying you for being gay. And you're not gay, but that's the threat. That's the bully. You get picked on because you're weak, and so you get called gay. Then it's like the last thing you want to be associated with, the last thing that you want to be viewed as. And then you see somebody else, and you perpetuate. You put them under your. You have control because they're actually gay. You can actually put them down because you get made fun of for that. Like whatever. Well, it's
right. Well, and it's perpetuated through weak. Role models, and
lack of education, lack of knowing, and lack of education. That person.
Yeah, there was that video that came out. It was some prominent
dude.
I don't want to go too down.
I was going to say down
the rabbit hole of social.
Rockadoodle was a movie done by Don Bluth about an Elvis-like rooster.
Just cut right back.
Rockadoodle.
Just cut out the last 30 minutes and
Rockadoodle. I was going to say, we could keep going, but I thought this was funny. That was
quite a few good dick jokes. Anyway,
I'm really sorry for bringing up Bill Cosby. Okay, I'm sorry.
I do try to veer away from social commentary because we're not that podcast. Like, if anyone wants to have that podcast,
we could be. If you'd like, just put it in the comments and we'll change it.
Let's talk shit on Don Bluth, shall we?
I like to veer down that path for a little bit, but I do appreciate you pulling in the reins. So bring on the
it was getting
back to the
bring on the big fluffy Don Bluths.
I don't mind if we get cerebral or thoughtful for a while about
just I feel so bad. This is my first podcast with you guys, and I'm bringing up Bill Cosby.
All right, so
I'm never coming back to the show.
Look what you did.
And
anyway, every one of our podcasts inevitably gets Cosby. It's fine. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. So it happens every episode.
A lot of not you. It's on our mention of Cosby.
All right, Matlock, I got a scene for you.
Ooh. Why?
You are a morning hype radio DJ trying to subtly let the listeners know that you're being held hostage.
Ooh. Ooh, that's good.
That's great.
Ladies and gentlemen. Hey, everybody. It's me, Jack and Jay, back again with another hot track for you. I have so much to say about this next track, so much that it makes me scared. That I'm not going to say enough. Michael Jackson was a hero to all of us, and he had troubles. Am I right? He had his troubles, right? Am I right? Can we get the sound effects for the Thank you. Yes, yeah, we know what that was about. But sometimes we have our troubles here too. We all have our troubles. Sometimes, literally, in the form of a gun and a terrorist holding one to your head. Figuratively, that is a problem that some people can feel that they have, and maybe could be literally taken by you, my viewers. Now, the 10th caller to call the police is going to get tickets to the police.
The phrase that pays is the police.
I was going to say, next up, here's a hit song from the police.
Sending out an SOS by the police.
Yeah, it's get me out of here for real. Call the cops by Bob Dylan.
I shot the sheriff. Followed by SOS.
The address of the radio station, and to tell them to hurry the fuck up.
This next one is from Melissa Etheridge. It's called "I Love My Wife and Child."
Next one goes out.
It's like, in case I don't make it, I'll miss you.
You'll find a note from my family in the dresser drawer.
By the cardigans.
Tammy from Tucson, Arizona writes in, "Hey, it's really great to see you. By the way, in case I don't make it home, Michelle, Christy, and Jonathan, I love you. Daddy loves you very, very much. Please, somebody come to my rescue." And now, the cardigans.
With a letter.
Oh, there it is. Oh, there. Yes, the Casey.
The letter says, "Casey, I'm being held hostage by 3 terrorists in a studio. What do I do?" Well, Jill, what I would suggest is you call the police as soon as possible. I can't do it. It's been so long. I used to have.
I was gonna say, you know what our viewers need more of is Casey Kasem jokes.
Will you, if you can, find? There's a clip. I used to have a cassette tape. My dad.
Oh, I know the clip you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, there's a thing here.
Yeah, my dad got it. Like
he fucking loses his mind.
Can I talk? Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's funny.
Yes, my dad worked at radio stations. They used to make copies of this cassette of him losing his shit.
Oh my god!
And pass it around at parties.
Yeah,
and stuff.
So it's on YouTube. Yeah.
Clip of Casey Kasem losing his shit.
To interject, in a previous life, I used to work at a jail, as most of you guys already know. And
now, when you say work at, do you just mean like prostitution or?
No, I was paid to be there by the local government. I know.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
What? And I also didn't have a beard, but
not work. No, sweet.
No, I did that I did that for 15 years, and it was a waking nightmare every single day. But one day, like a guy who was turning himself in just like to do a weekend stint, like I heard his voice. And I'm like, I know that voice. I was like, wait a minute. Why do I know your voice? He's like, you may know me because I'm the KNX 1070 traffic guy. There's a signaler. Hey, this is Kent Jenkins from KNX 1070. I was like, Kent awesome. Jenkins. So you were here for vehicular manslaughter.
I thought it was Man Jack here for triple homicide.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to get a lot more dark, where it was going to be like, you may remember my voice from your closet when you were.
Oh, I was going to say, what?
I used to stare at you.
You want it to be way more dark than vehicular homicide, Matlock? Really? I worry about you, sir.
Hiding in kids' closets, I think, is you can.
Wolfman Jack is over here waiting for you in a locker room, just sitting there with a camcorder. This next song goes out to Johnny. It's called "I Think We're Alone Now."
I'm just
by
saying,
the Cranberries.
I'm just saying.
The Cranberries do a cover of everything, featuring Michael Jackson and Bill Cosby.
All right. Well, we've fully circled the loop here, I think.
I was always saying all you need for vehicular manslaughter is a bad case of affluenza. So it's really
true.
Not that big a deal.
Unfortunately, I'm poor, so.
All right, so we're almost at time here. I'm going to do one more suggestion to everyone to chime in with at least one example. Yeah. This last one is voicemails that make it so you never get hired for that job. Like your voicemail message that gets you not hired.
Leave a mess.
I don't know how fucking voicemail.
So perfect. Okay, so wait a second. It's when they call you to leave a voicemail.
So they call you and they leave a message in your cell phone.
So it's not you leaving a voicemail.
No, it's your voicemail.
Okay, cool.
Wait. Oh, okay. Got it.
You've reached Stephen and Leela. We are not here now, but we can call you back when we're free.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. We're not hiring this man.
Hi, you've reached Kevin and Natasha. We're not here right now, so if you could leave a voicemail and we will message you back. What the fuck do you mean message you back? What do you mean message you back? You know what you're supposed to say. God damn it.
We rehearsed this, Sheila.
Not doing this again.
Yeah. Let's see.
Hey guys.
You don't want to make me angry.
You could re-record those things, just saying, anyway, I'll be over with the pizza in 20 unless it's not a good time. I don't know. I always have to throw that out there. Okay, bye.
Thanks for calling. This is Adam Aragon, and if you're looking for a dime bag or a hooker, I've got the hookup, so just let me know. And if this is anyone else, then hi, leave a message.
If I may, there is an old Vandals song that's exactly like this, and it's just like, you can see my dick, you're my boss, fuck you, okay, and just fast, furious, angry punk. But then it stops like, well, if this is Grandma, I'm sorry I've been such a jerk off. I'll see you on Sunday. Goodbye, and I love you. But it just goes right back into that aggression.
All right, everyone, go check out the Vandals if you haven't lately,
or don't.
Or don't. God. It's a free country.
I know the Vandals. Slippery When Ill is one of the best albums ever.
I was more of a Ramones guy, but sure.
I like their Christmas album. It cracks me up every single year. Also, has not aged well.
Or When in Rome, do as the Vandals do. Actually, yeah, a lot of what the Vandals put out in the 90s, again, another thing that has not aged well. Everything I like sucks.
Though, to be fair, Hitler bad, Vandals good. Yeah, that aged pretty darn well.
Yeah, that one sticks.
Yeah, that one was okay. Live Fast, Diarrhea, maybe.
That's awesome.
Well, I mean, Diarrhea is still okay. In fact, it's more okay than ever with IBS sufferers.
There you go. Now there are pills for that.
Yeah. So if anyone has diarrhea on the show, just feel free to let us know. And don't leave the camera. Don't leave the camera.
If you could leave a
wait, hang on. I think we're bearing the lead here. Adam, what camera are you talking about? There is a very important story that we are not addressing. What camera?
This is where I tell everyone this is supposed to be an audio only podcast.
Is this how you actually make your money? Is like you have like AdamDeuce.net, and it's just like a live feed of your toilet.
I mean, it's .org, but I'm not a.
Not
a common criminal.
I'm not one of those .net government animals. No, I'm a .org because I'm not tax exempt.
All right, so that is our show for today. Yay. We are the Podcast Wreckers. We've had our special guest with us today, Kevin Jones.
Thank you so much.
Kevin the Dad Kisser.
I am the Dad Kisser. I want to kiss your dad. I do want to say thank you guys so much for having me today. Like, this is so fun to do. I miss you all, like, from, like, way back in Santa Rosa days when we all used to do, like, you guys used to do, like, the movie record stuff and the world's. I told Adam about this. The world's biggest comedy duo, which is one of the most ingenious names that I've ever heard. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for having me today. It really does mean the world to me. So
Kevin,
thank you.
I just want to say I don't agree with a single word you just said. All of the
you don't appreciate this
were awful. They were bad ideas, and anybody who benefited from them in any way is wrecked in the head.
Well, I mean, there's the podcast Wreckers, so
apology for having wrecked you as a human being.
Matlock's the final word on this, so I got to stick with that.
Yeah, you can't.
All right, so again, we've been the Podcast Wreckers. You can find us online at podcastwreckers.com, on Facebook by typing in Podcast Wreckers like a goddamn person with a keyboard.
What?
You can find us on your podcast platform of choice, or again, in your closet, favorite shoe on the left, black leather. You remember.
Mine's a Chelsea boot.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night.
Don't stop recording, Adam. Don't stop recording.
You're right. The funniest shit happens after we stop, so we're done.
I told you.